I see you put the intro back up there for a little bit there, Joe.
Back up there. I just didn't use it last time. I was hoping to have a new.
I like that intro. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we're working on them.
Spooky.
Yeah, he wants to put another one up or get another one made up for us. So anyway, haven't talked to you in a while. How you guys been doing?
We have been extremely busy. We've had an amazing year. I think we talked at the beginning of the year, right? If I remember correctly.
It was a past show. You are right.
Okay. Yep.
But I can't back.
We've had a tremendous 2022, and we've been just very busy. We've added several new locations.
Cool.
And so some of the big things to note, I guess. Well, the big thing was we did have a charity event that was actually held in Tennessee this year, and we partnered with Paranormal Events and Adventures, and they actually assisted us and put on a charity event with us up in Tennessee at the Octagon Hall.
Oh,
that went extremely well. We were able to donate to Base Camp out of Orlando. That's a children's foundation here in Orlando. And then we were also able to donate to a local family up in Tennessee. So, because we typically try to donate to a family every year in September locally. So normally we would have done one here in Florida. However, we had some pretty serious family problems, I guess, or, basically it was an illness in the family that prevented us from doing that here in Florida this year. But we did do a really good one in Tennessee. So that was a big one. Chris and I also hand delivered 5 Thanksgiving meals the day before Thanksgiving. So that was our 3rd annual turkey giveaway, and that went extremely well. So we give back locally. On Giving Tuesday, which was the day after Cyber Monday, we gave a check to Base Camp again out of Orlando. That's the Children's Foundation. Mm-hmm. And we also donated to a cause called Metropolitan Ministries here. So, and this year we also donated to, her name is Tina Fleurer. And unfortunately, her husband passed away from cancer this year. She's a widow. And he she is extremely involved in the paranormal. So we supported her through that time. So there's my dogs because Chris is home. But long story short, we've done a lot of giving but we've also done a lot of growing, and we've had some amazing events this year. We've added some amazing locations to our repertoire to continue to provide these events for the community. And one of the big, sorry, that's my husky Sky. She gets really excited.
Joe's got a husky.
My husky's awesome. She's crazy, and but she doesn't make any noise unless Chris comes home, and then she starts howling.
Yep. I got a purebred Siberian Husky, and
we have a Siberian. Does yours have? Go ahead.
When my wife pulls in the driveway, she hears that car before it pulls in the driveway, and she starts howling and going nuts.
Oh, nice.
That food, she starts arguing with her about giving her some. It's fun. I love Huskies. I've raised them all my life.
Yeah. Sky's a great dog. She's very, she's very obedient, but she howls, and Chris hates it. You'll hear him like complain at her. He's always like, "Don't howl." I'm like, "That's what she does." So one of the big things that happened this year was Chris and I were actually cast in a horror film, and the director is Scott Temperman from Ghost Hunters International. And this is his 9th independent film. We filmed it here locally at the Ritchie Suncoast Theater here in Newport Richie. We're officially on IMDb, both Chris and I. I played Detective Renko. Chris played EMT LaRue. And the world premiere is on January 21st of 2023. So that was really cool. It also put one of the locations, on the map as far as being in a horror movie. So that was a lot of fun to experience. There he is. That's his work outfit. and I'm trying to we were also on ABC Action News this year, which is the big news station. They did a Halloween special on us.
Cool.
And that was very last minute. They kind of called us at the last minute, and I had to work, and Chris happened to be off. So Chris went to the Hacienda, which is down here in Newport Richie. We have a partnership with them. We do our events there as well. And it's a beautiful renovated hotel. It was actually named the #1 most haunted hotel in Florida from Thrillist. And Chris did a whole Halloween special for the ABC Action News for Halloween, and they played us like 4 or 5 times. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was great. So yeah, it's been a busy year, and we've got an even busier next year coming up. We've sold out of we sell out of everything very quickly now, and it's causing. I'm trying to figure out the best way to alleviate it. But when I put up the tickets for that Hacienda event that I was telling you, that I was just explaining the hotel,
Right.
it's sold out in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Wow.
How many tickets do you sell at that time?
That one maxes out at 24.
Okay.
So I sold 24 tickets in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
It's not bad. That's pretty
And
good.
that was on a Friday, so it's not like, you know what I mean? So it's been doing well. Hi, babe. He got out of his work outfit. Do you want to Honey, do you want to talk for a second?
I'm talking. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't see nothing.
That's
Hey,
them right
Chris.
there. Do you have your face
Oh, I
on it?
see them.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Sorry I was late.
No problem, man.
He's like,
I know how it is.
Yep.
Yeah, around June, late June, I got promoted to management of my facility. So now I get to come in early and I get to stay late.
Awesome. I know. It's like, okay, you get promoted, but now you got to live there.
more
Yep.
responsibility,
Yeah,
less
pretty much.
pay, and more
First to
headache.
be there, first to leave. Or last to leave.
Yeah.
What was that, Joe?
I said more responsibility, more headaches, and less pay.
Yep.
Because it just doesn't work out for the hours you put in.
Nope.
In
I went from hourly wage to salary.
How many, you probably go through bottles and bottles of Tums just because.
Nah,
Anyway.
I don't let it bother me.
Well, but you still got time to do this, so that's a positive.
Yeah, I try to make sure I make time. That's about the way to do it.
Yeah. You always make time for the fun things, right?
We try to.
Obviously, yes.
Try to.
So Alex was telling us you guys been pretty damn busy lately.
Non-stop.
That's good.
She said about the Hacienda, and then but what she didn't say is we set up a second date, and with one phone call, we sold every ticket. So we didn't even get a chance to post it.
Wow.
So now we got to set up another one for the public because this was a group that bought all the tickets from us to do the event,
Nice.
which is a positive. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing wrong at all.
We were like, all of a sudden we get a phone call. They're like, yeah, we want to buy every ticket to the event. Oh, okay. So that sold out quicker than the first one.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So, but a lot of people have been waiting for the hacienda to open. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been closed for a while. A lot of people have been trying to remodel it, refinish it. Now it's done and it's beautiful. It's brought back to what it used to look like, and it's very active. We got activity in every room, didn't we, hun?
Yeah, well, in every room we were allowed
In
in.
every room they allowed us in. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the reconstruction and stuff, and that probably disturbed a few of the spirits that are there, or some of
Yeah.
the energies.
During the whole thing.
Renovation.
During the
Yeah.
renovation. Yeah. So, and they tried to keep everything to how it used to be, which was awesome. So,
That is cool whenever places can do that, whenever ownerships can actually come into a place and when they renovate it, keep it more towards the original than putting the new fancy stuff in.
exactly. And with it being a historical landmark, they have to also follow protocol too for that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I know a few places that I wish they would have declared them landmarks because we lost them here in Madison.
Well, a lot of locations are just getting knocked down for housing and new developments, and it's like,
Mhm.
what about? So that's a lot. What we do is we give back to the locations to try to keep them going as well as helping the kids. So
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. You know, you can forge alliances and stuff like that with people, with the different companies.
yeah,
That works out pretty good that way.
yeah. There's a lot of places that should have been saved that weren't around here. That's for sure.
Definitely.
You know, and it's sad when they get destroyed and they're gone and all that history's gone with it.
Yeah.
You know?
exactly. And then now you got on the land, and it's lost. It's sitting there and just waiting to be, reopened again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or they build a strip mall, and then the strip mall stays empty because they can't lease it because they want too much money for the property.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, why not just renovate the current strip mall that's across the street that's already been empty? You know,
Well,
instead of
that's the
building another one.
a lot of these old strip malls, they're just all sitting and sitting and sitting, but yet all of a sudden they want to hit these buildings that have been there forever, that's got history. It's like,
Right.
oh,
Mhm.
just level that one.
Yep.
There was an awesome hotel by Jasper Jail that we deal with, and I was looking to see about buying it, and then all of a sudden she messaged me and says someone just bought it, and the next day it was the first hotel ever and the only hotel that they ever had there. It had history. It had a lot of stuff. Beautiful building and round and she called me, or I called her about putting in the bid for it. She goes, "Oh, they lowered it in price. You might want to do it." So I go to call the next day. Someone purchased it, and the next day she sent me photos of them. He leveled it with a crane down. He said
Oh my God.
it's been an eyesore county forever. Now that he goes, we don't need it. It's an empty lot now. And I got a chance to go in it before they knocked it down, and and it was beautiful inside. Partially started to get remodeled. It had Jack and Jill bathrooms. The whole, I mean, the place was beautiful. Old grand piano. Nope, it's in the garbage pile now somewhere.
That is sad
It,
and
It is. It is.
sickening. It just well, Joe and I ran across a place down over in Watertown where he lives at Lions Pub. Uh, they were going to actually tear it down, but a couple came in and they bought it for what was it, Joe? $1 or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, they bought the building for like $1. This thing was put up in the 1800s. and there's actual historical pictures of it. It was I think a livery stable or something like that,
Huh.
and then it's three floors, and on the third floor they have this grand ballroom up there
Oh,
that they
that's
used
awesome.
to have. You know, they used to have all these different events and stuff in there. Well, this couple bought it. They remodeled the bottom part where the bar is, so that is still good and everything. And they
kept
were
that.
working on the second floor when we were there. They were working on the second floor, doing some of the stuff there. And on the third floor, they were still, it was still, you can walk around without any issues and stuff, but there was still a lot of work to be done up there.
Right, right. Well,
One
but
of
the good thing is that when they get a building at that kind of price, there's always a catch to it as far as it is a historical landmark, and as long as they follow protocol, then they can keep it going at that. Still have There's still a lot of money that's got to be invested in them places. People think, oh, $1. No,
Oh,
there's
they've invested quite a
but
bit over the years.
I think he said that they've invested a little over $1 million in it already.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And
One of those floors was a meeting place, so for one of those secretive
Oh
groups.
yeah, it was a Shriners. No, not Shriners. Mason. It was a Mason Hall.
Yeah, because it have the logo still painted on the floor.
Yes.
oh,
They
that's
had
awesome.
they had the logo and everything still on the floor and all that. But it was a Mason's Hall up there where the ballroom was.
Yeah, here downtown Newport Richie, we have a building too that has an original was an original meeting place for the Freemasons too, which is awesome. And when we went there, we actually we own a Knights of the Templar original sword. And when we brought it, the activity went crazy. But the funny thing was it was female responses. However, there was no females allowed in them halls. It was all men. So it's really weird. So we have to go back and investigate some more to figure out.
Have you
Weird stuff
did you do
happening
any
in
research? Did you do any research of the property itself or the building?
Property itself, yeah, it used to be the building.
Library.
The building itself used to be. It was called the Avery Library, and then the Avery Library was moved. And the whole time, the bottom was just shops, and then upstairs was the Mason Hall. But the shops downstairs was the library, and then there was a hardware store next to it. But they always did, and according to what we found, is that George Washington was there, and a few others stayed. That they had meetings upstairs there, and you could see the dome with that how it used to be. It was cool. Now since then they've painted it. It's kind of changed hands. It's still there, but they've kind of renovated a little more. But it's just cool to be able to be there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the way that a lot of these old properties, have that history to them.
Yeah.
So, but when I find places or we find places that we go to, I like whenever we can do the research and actually look into the land itself and the building, because sometimes the land has connection as well,
Exactly.
not just the building itself.
What a lot of people in the paranormal field, and I just say this is my personal opinion, they don't realize that without the history, you can't do what we do.
No,
Right.
Just going into a
that's true.
someone says it's haunted. You need to know the history so then you can put the pieces to the puzzle together while you're investigating.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of them are like, oh, they just said it's haunted. We're going to go in. This is what we found. Instead of, okay, let's try to contact so-and-so and so-and-so that this is real history of to what did happen on this property or in this location.
Yeah, you try to get to the truth as much as possible.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, stories a little fetched or stretched over time. The older the story, the more it gets blown out of proportion. So you got to get to the core of the original story, where it started and how it started. That's the fun part, you know.
Well, exactly. And then to realize, hey, okay, now you're getting responses, or you're getting a Jim or a John, and then you kind of know who that Jim or John is, instead of, oh, I think they said someone in the family that owned this, his grandmother was George or whatever. And it's like, how about we just get facts?
Well,
Right.
yeah, I mean, that is one of the things that we try to do when we go out is we will look into the history itself. Like the one I was telling you about, that Lions pub there in Watertown.
Right.
I have a photograph of a photograph that I took with my phone, because the
A
gentleman that,
photograph of a photograph.
yes, and
I know,
it's true.
I
But
know. But
the gentleman that owns it and that talked with us and let us come in and everything, he has a binder's like about yay thick, I think it was.
yeah, it was pretty full of pictures. Not to
And
mention
there's a
the ones that were on
lot
the
of
wall.
pictures and information in there. Plus, he's got stuff on the wall. And he pulled out these different photos that he got from the Historical Society, and he laid them across the bar. And Joe and his wife was looking at them, and the guy literally told me he did not notice this. But as soon as I looked at it, I actually noticed something that was a little off. Because when you look at the photograph, in the foreground, there's two dogs that look like there's two dogs standing there. And then you've got the horses and carriages with all the men and everything across the backside over where the the side of the building is. But the dogs is where your attention go to, because one of them, you can see the curb line through the dog, and the other one looks like it's transparent.
Huh.
And this is a photograph that is from the 1800s that he
Dang.
got from the Historical Society. Now, I don't know if it was something with the film that they were using or the camera,
Right.
but it that right there, that particular thing drew my interest right to it, and it was,
Right.
and nobody else noticed it. It's kind of
For
funny.
sure. But that's like down here where we're at in downtown Newport Richey, a lot of the history went up in flames. So it's we got a historical
Literally.
society that, yeah, literally, Alex said, that just caught on fire and it's gone. So now it's putting the pieces together, the real history with the elders and the people that have lived here their whole life, what grandpa and grandma's stories they got, and trying to piece it together and try to, figure out exact dates and everything else, because a lot of the fires, most of the places were built with wood, and they're just gone, incinerated.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's just hard when you don't have all the history to then try to do it. But when you go to a place and you know the place is active, you want to know the story. So
Yeah, it's nice to know the backstory on a lot of it.
yeah.
Yeah. But then, some of it's pretty popular. You don't have to do a lot of research.
True.
I
True.
mean, you mentioned a place that like you get to go to these places, and this is what I also like about paranormal investigations. You get to go to some of these locations, and you just feel honored to be there. You
Exactly.
feel
To
that
just
it's
be able to
an
step
honor to
foot
be
in the
there,
place.
and I felt like that once, and it was a really great honor to actually venture out, and we got the invitation. We went to Iowa, and we went to the Buddy Holly crash site,
Oh, okay, cool.
where the day the music died, and it
Right.
was very surreal just to be out there, you know. And yeah, that was an interesting place, though. There is some activity going on there, and like Mark said, that's pretty much all the land because of
Right.
where they crashed in that cornfield.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just to be able to step foot or be near these locations is it's an honor to be able to do it. And then try to communicate is a whole different story in itself. But knowing the location and knowing the history definitely helps and helps you validate what your findings are.
True.
And that's key to moving the field forward, in my opinion.
Yeah. Especially if you know the history, and if you're a little cautious when you go in to not mention the history outright or anything, and then you get your responses when you get your responses on your EVPs, or like if you're using any kind of a spirit box or anything like that, and you get responses that match up with the history without you even saying anything about the history or any mention of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Then that kind of, to me, is a clarification that everything is actually happening there, real. It gives you a surreal aspect to it.
Right, and it's also let you know, you've been doing this for a reason. You're getting responses. You're now getting answers. So it's validating the whole reason for you doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you're not just sitting in a cemetery talking to yourself.
True.
That was just something that was said by somebody once.
Right.
I
And
mean,
even
sometimes
cemeteries, I love cemeteries, but the problem is if you're getting if you're getting a response of a Jim or a John, how many of them are on that property? So
Exactly.
it's to go ahead and get them details to then kind of lead you to which Jim or John it is.
Right. Yep.
It's not just, I talked to John. Okay, well, what John? We just walked by 20 John's graves. It's like,
right.
And are they even? Is it even a person that's buried here? Or is it someone attached to the land way before?
Right.
So
And all this, a lot of this was Native American land at one time.
right.
Well, actually, before the English came over, it was Native American land, the entire area. And so there's a lot of sacred land. There's a lot of sacred land here in the United States that once did belong to the Native Americans.
Right.
I'm thinking that's another reason we have some of these places like Skinwalker Ranch and down here by us, Bray Road.
Right.
Because
Bray Road is our former Skinwalker Ranch because of all the stuff that does go on there.
Oh wow, there is so much that goes on there.
Yep, so much that goes on there, and it just key to it all is getting validation and then just trying to learn and understand what's going on there, and then scientifically try to prove what it is. And if we can't scientifically prove it, then obviously it's not normal, so therefore it's paranormal to some extent.
The way it's unexplained.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And as long as it's unexplained, we're going to seek out the answers. It's part of the paranormal field and what we do.
Right.
Yeah, it's the fun part, trying to find the answers. But then you get the other part where you get chased off the land when you're not done yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not your fault. I mean, you ain't got a choice. It's not like you get scared. You got to pack up your equipment because it's going to get damaged or something.
Exactly.
And yeah,
but
happens.
that's key to the good communication with the people that own the property or the buildings, and to be able to come and spend time there. You can't get all the answers in just one or two investigations. You need to spend some time there.
Yeah. So do you guys, whenever you do your investigations, is it mostly in the buildings and stuff, or do you actually go to like cemeteries or areas of open land?
It's mainly buildings. We just, I don't know if you've looked at the website, but we just finally nailed down the SS Victory in downtown Tampa. So
I
now we
saw
got
that.
a ship, a real Navy ship, World War II vessel that we're going to be able to go on and investigate. Finally, they've had little groups here and there go, but they've never had a real an event, so to speak, with a bunch of people. It's been all
Yeah.
smaller groups, but there's all kinds of stories. People that are on the ship all the time, the caretakers of the ship. You know, they're there alone. They hear voices. They hear people, you know, or spirits pounding on the doors. They hear all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be really awesome to be able to do that.
I think it would be great to be able to actually get the opportunity to go into one of the old naval ships like that, one of the decommissioned ones, and do an investigation in there.
Exactly.
Especially one of them that was there's a particular one I would love to be able to go on, but I don't know if they even have it to where you can, and that would be the Missouri. The
Right.
battleship
Yeah,
Missouri that was in World War II in Pearl Harbor. It was stationed.
exactly.
And I know the story of this because my uncle was a 17-year-old kid who had enlisted in the Navy, and he was asleep in his bunk on the Missouri whenever the munition bunker got hit and exploded in the Arizona that sunk the Arizona right next to it.
Oh, man.
He said when that thing exploded, it rocked everybody out of their bunk.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. And at this point, at this moment, I can imagine the energy of all the, you know, the people that have passed, the people that have been there, just the people that had to
Yep.
go through that. Um, to just be able to try to communicate with them would be crazy awesome.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. It would be awesome to be able to communicate with him. It was great to sit with my uncle and actually listen to some of the stories that he'd tell.
But that's key, is getting the stories from the people that have been there. You know, it's not let's just Google it and see what we find, because a lot of the stuff is just you know, I don't believe everything on the internet, and if you do, you got a
Or you
problem.
can't.
Yeah.
You know,
You
Unfortunately,
can't
he
believe
passed away
everything on
before I
the
really
internet.
got really involved in this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I would have actually took a recorder and I would have sat down with him and recorded a bunch of his
Yeah.
stories
right.
and
Right,
tales
but
of
at
what
least
happened.
you had them talks and you have them memories, which is really
Oh
cool to
yeah,
have of
definitely.
him. And now to be able to use them possibly in the future, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's key. I mean, we learn every day from everybody, and if you think you've already know it all, then it's time to find another hobby, because there's no way in heck anyone.
It doesn't matter who you are and how much you've learned. You'll never know everything because there's so much to learn in this
Exactly.
world, and it's just
You should learn something new every day.
Yeah, I agree. And in this field, it's just constant. It's constant. Oh, I've been doing this, but oh, so and so does it like this, and man, I can do it better now. You
Yeah.
know, it's not. And I say this all the time. I probably said it last time we were on with you guys, but it's not who you can step on to get to where you want to go. It's who can you bring with you, so the whole field can move forward. We
yeah,
learn from
exactly.
each other, and that's what happens. You
And
know,
that's the kind of society that we should be.
exactly.
Is learning from each other and understanding how things work for each of us. You know,
Exactly.
I can go out and do an investigation and do something a certain way, and it might work for me. But Joe, if he tries it the same way, it may not work for him.
Exactly.
You know,
There's
he might have a
so
different method.
right, and no matter where your location is or what you're doing at that time, uh, for instance, maybe you don't want to talk to females. You kick the females out. You talk to the males. You might get better responses. So you have to
I've heard of
use
that
everything.
happening. We've
Yep,
heard of
that's
that happening.
You have to use everything in your arsenal, and it continues to build and build and just continue to add to the list.
Well,
oh yeah,
everything right now, because nothing's been proven scientifically on a lot of this. It's theories. That means there's no right or wrong answer. You take it, you test something and see if it works. Because
Right.
it's all you can do right now because things are just theories. So it makes nobody wrong. Nobody's right yet. Nobody can be an expert, really, technically.
I'll give it to you.
So,
Exactly. But I mean, as far as learning, you learn from everyone that you're with, and you come in contact with. Like Alex, what's your outlook on that?
What? I don't know because I just slipped in.
Your outlook on learning from other people, that you don't always know what you don't know what's best. You always learn from people.
Oh yeah, especially in this field. The paranormal industry has such an amazing ability to allow others to learn constantly. Because, first of all, if we're being honest about the field, it's all subjective. I mean, we can all, we can say all of our opinions all the time about everything, but ultimately, we're dealing with something that we want to prove desperately, but it's really hard to prove something that, that is subjective. We're dealing with energy. We're dealing with with uh, with all different types of forms of investigations, right? So I mean, I just feel like every time you go to investigate and you're around other people you don't know, you have the opportunity to learn, and it makes it so much fun. And
Absolutely.
I think people who are short-sighted and who want to do it their way, and I come to the paranormal a little differently because I have 16 years in marketing. I have 3 degrees in marketing and 1 in psychology. And so when I come into this field, I'm looking at it from a totally different perspective. I'm looking at it from a business mindset a little bit. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people in this industry that either want to do it to get famous, they want to do it for likes, they are stubborn and only want to do it a certain way, and they actually put down people who have other opinions or other thoughts. I've seen it with my own eyes.
yeah,
And
I've seen it too.
I don't understand, because the opportunity we have, we are our own worst enemies.
Oh yeah.
Because the opportunity that the paranormal field has to grow is in all of our hands.
Yep.
But when you're stepping on everybody else, the rising tide brings all ships up. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I think what people miss is that, truly, and it's not just para-unity, because that's a marketing term, right? That's somebody kind of coined that and wanted it to stick.
Yeah.
But, and again, I look at this a little differently, right? Because that's my business. So para-unity sounds good, but you got to walk the talk, and you got to talk the talk and walk the walk, right?
Exactly.
So, my hope is that, we can find a way to promote our industry and to learn from each other, but in a healthy way, and in a way that brings all the ships up, and brings that tide right up, and also allows us to learn from you. I mean, I've learned so much from Chris. I learn from you guys every time I'm on, right? So, but there's a lot of people who are opposed to that, so that's okay. That's okay.
We've
No,
learned.
that's the
We've
way.
learned
That's the way
from.
you.
How many times every time we have Dale Kazmarek on, we learn something.
Oh God, yes. Now that's a gentleman that
1974.
Yeah, Dale is a gentleman that everybody in the paranormal community should actually befriend and talk to, because he's been doing this stuff back in the 70s. He
Wow.
started in the 70s with this when it wasn't a popular thing, and he's been going strong ever since. And he's full of knowledge.
Research. What was it?
And every now and then, I like to pick his brain.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and those are the people that, and you know what's sad, a lot of people would look at his age and go, oh well, what does he know, or or
Nope.
he's not using the
he knows
new
a lot.
equipment.
He knows
And
a lot
and the
more than
sad thing
people.
is that he probably knows more than all.
That's how they used to do it.
Yeah,
This
To
so
is
us,
the
he's
new
like a
stuff.
mentor. You
yeah,
know,
that's
I
awesome. I
mean,
mean,
Yeah,
and what a blessing that we have him in the community, and he can, in the
he'll
paranormal
call me up
community,
on the
you know.
phone. He'll call me
oh
up
yeah,
on the phone just to tell me something or invite us somewhere. Say, you
yeah,
guys have
definitely.
time. We can go here. I got this all set up, and I got room for you guys if you want to come along. Yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
waiting until next summer because I think he's going to go back over to oh god, Tennessee. Where is it, Joe? The battlefields.
Gettysburg. Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. Yeah,
Oh,
Gettysburg. He's been to Gettysburg several times. He's actually caught some interesting stuff out there,
Yeah, and he
and I
invited us
definitely
once,
will.
and it wasn't on our schedule that one time.
Yeah, it was we couldn't get it all set together on that. I think that would be a very fun, adventurous time to go out to
He also
Gettysburg with
invited us
them.
to Joliet prison, but we didn't have the chance or the time that weekend either. It was like a last minute invite.
That's cool.
Yeah, we don't live too far from him. I know where the guy's from. He's down in a certain part of Illinois I've been to before. So so it's not too far away for us to get together. He's the one that took us out to the day the music died in our school in Iowa. He invited us on that trip.
That would be
right.
Yeah,
awesome. I would love to do that.
Yeah. But
but
those
he
those
never warned me about the Farrer School.
yeah, those are the kind of people though in this field that instead of looking past them and going, "Oh, they're old, they're doing all," you know what? We could learn a lot from them because that's where it started.
I mean, that
And
guy's so knowledgeable that he's sitting there filming in our school and he's telling you the history of this place without having to read anything. It's like he
Hmm.
knows it.
right. No, exactly. And that's where we can all learn, and it's just for the field to move forward, we got to all work together and we got to help one another. And it's not, hey, this is more important, or this piece of equipment that I built because I added an extra light on it means that I'm up here and you're down here. It's like, no, we work together and move forward. It's the
Well,
only
so
way to
far,
do it.
I think so far just about everybody we've met has been like that in this field. You
That's
know,
Right.
great. Well, then there must be
when
some
we
good
first
progress.
went out, we didn't really know what we were doing much, but we knew where we wanted to go. Because we were started in our state. So we went to check out the witches of Whitewater, wasn't it?
Which
Isn't
is
that
the
what?
Whitewater, Wisconsin.
Right.
There's 3 cemeteries there, and they have history. There's stories behind them.
So while we were out there, we saw what was that team we saw? You remember?
I don't. I remember seeing meeting with them, but I don't remember what their
We had
names
them
were.
on the show once too. After that,
I know.
but anyway, we met
Wasn't it
this
something
pretty
like
popular
Midwest
team.
Paranormal or something like that?
Yeah, U.S. Paranormal, and they had a lot of their own homemade equipment, and they had special. Uh, they had like local a local government type person with them from the Chamber of Commerce. The president of the Chamber of Commerce was with them because they were filming a documentary for the town on this.
Okay.
And they sat there and took the time out to talk to us and stuff like this and was giving us some tips and pointers. And yeah, we were really, they were very friendly and very outgoing and answering questions. And,
Hmm.
like we weren't disturbing them or anything like that. It's just like, uh, you know, so we've run into things like that pretty often, where they just want to
Right. And that's
information.
awesome. That's how it should be.
Have you
You
gone
I
know.
here
will
yet?
say this.
Might want to go check this out first,
Right. Right.
I will say this without naming any names. There is one group that we came across that I thought were extremely arrogant.
I can just
That happens.
And they're one that I kind of would like to avoid coming across again.
I think the arrogance is
Jealous?
what?
Jealous?
Well, no, the arrogance is a problem because there's no how can anyone be arrogant? Because we don't nobody is successful enough.
No,
I
Unless
don't
you're
know. They
like
get.
you know what I
Think,
mean? So it's like there's no such thing as success in this field. We're all just learning together,
I think they get that big enough following and that little bit of fame, local type fame or whatever, because they go out to their local mall and they're recognized or something like that, and it goes
Yeah.
to their head too much, and they get a little full of
They get a
themselves.
little full of themselves, right? Yeah.
And they
I'm pretty sure I know who Mark's
steal
talking.
other people's ideas.
We'll wait till we're off air and I'll ask him.
Well, I mean, the one thing is like, Chris and I aren't into this whole paradrama stuff. That's too much for us. We're, like I said, when everyone else was enjoying their Thanksgiving dinner, Chris and I were delivering dinners to our community.
I think that
And
I think
that
that's
is really cool.
I think what
and
you
that's
guys
not
do.
me trying to say that we're like, but that's something that Chris and I like to do, and we've done it for 3 years in a row, and it makes us feel good.
I think what you guys do is just totally, awesome. I mean, it's just, especially the thing cancer. That thing is really close to me because I had and survived leukemia.
Well, yes,
I'm supposed to be dead right now. I wasn't supposed to survive this long,
that's amazing.
according to the doctor.
Cancer is a terrible thing.
Yes, it is.
And especially, and I'm not taking anything away, but when it affects children,
oh yeah, it's even worse.
It impacts the whole family.
Well, not just that, they lose their childhood.
Right.
People don't understand that. I mean, these kids can't go out and swim in a pool. They can't go out and have a normal childhood and play in the sandbox and play at the park or play with their friends.
Yeah, they have to have their own sandbox. They have to have their own space.
Because
and they're in pain,
when they're battling that,
they don't understand what's going on. Yeah, it's
right. And when they're battling that cancer and they're taking that chemo or that
their immune system's
treatment,
compromised, they can't go outside.
Kills out their
they
immune
can't have
system.
friends.
Yeah.
They can't eat certain things.
Yes, it's very.
And it's just, and that's where it's like, I think that's where it's important that because trust me, there are times where I can be like, okay, I've got to focus on getting another location or putting on another event or selling tickets, right? Because that's the business part of what we do. But I always come back to the human part of what we do. And that's what drives everything. And, there are people who are naysayers and haters and all types of stuff who are out there, sadly. But you know what? I mean, we have a tremendous relationship with Base Camp out of Orlando. She was thrilled that we handed her a check on Giving Tuesday. Trust me, that's not easy to do in the middle of Christmas. You know what I mean? And it's, I remind myself that, that it's those moments that I love the most. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we love to investigate. We love these locations. We love doing it. But what makes it even that much more and extra special is when we know that we're doing it for a reason.
Right.
It's not just personal gain. It's not just,
it's not a personal gain and it's not selfishness.
Here's 20 more people I met and they know that this is who we are. It's not that. It's helping the community as a whole.
Yes.
Right.
And that's key. And it's, we're not better than anyone else. It's just what we do. And if more people do what they can do, it's just going to help dramatically and drastically, and bring people together. That's the whole key.
That's the key. Yeah.
It's not what can I do, like I say, over and over. What can I do? Who can I step on to get to where I want to go? No. How many people can we bring, and how many families can we touch and help on our path to going where we're going with more people?
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
You know,
I have to
so
agree with you on that.
and I mean, just like you survived cancer. You know what it is to not give up. You know what it is to just move forward. Never look back. You know, and
Oh,
this is what we kind of try to instill to these kids. You
it
know,
was
it's this,
a rough road, and you know, I'm lucky. I got lucky, and I can just imagine
that was
what
my
those
couch.
kids have to go through. I mean, if they had to go through anything, especially during the time that I had it, because at the time that I had it, the treatments were nothing like they are today. You're
Right,
talking back in 1994, 95, the treatments were much different then, and the actual treatment that saved my life was pretty much brand new and was discovered at St. Jude's,
right. And
research hospital.
St. Jude's is if you can, no matter who's listening, if you're gonna give anything, that's a key that I would give to them before any other of a bunch of other
Yep.
organizations.
Yep, me
They
too.
are
I am the same way with that one.
they are the best. And I say that from personal experience. My brother had a fire, and my niece was burned over 80% of her body.
Oh, good Lord.
And this was going back years. She's like 30 now, I think. This happened when she was like 11, and they've never asked for a dime, but they've always set up the appointments. They've always followed through and helped them without
Yep.
spending one dime.
Yeah, and they share their
Yep.
research.
Everything. And
Yeah.
it's like
They
the
do. They
more you
share their
give
research.
to
Other
them,
They just,
hospital.
if their doctors and scientists make any kind of discovery, it gets shared. It doesn't get exploited to make the biggest amount of money that it possibly can. They share it.
what kind of medication can we make and make huge profits on, and we can corner the market on it? No, this is for everyone.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I got to give them a shout out. My whole life we've dealt with them because of my brother and my niece, and they never not try to get out of it. They never try not to get out of a skin graft. They never try not, you know what I mean? It's always we're ready, we're ready, we're ready, because that's what they do. You
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just have to put a shout out to them that you name them. It's just if anyone
Well,
wants to
hey,
give something, that's where you go to give.
yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
I had a problem. I had to go out a lot to get out after what I went through. So I'd go for walks, and I happened to be at the mall one day when they were raising money for St. Jude's. Right there, they had this great big like weekend long telethon type deal
Right.
with a silent auction and all this stuff. And yeah, I was talking to the DJ because she was having a hard time getting through, and I don't blame her because I was having a hard time sitting there listening to it. 'Cause when you hear these kids and they lose their childhood because they're stuck in a wheelchair or they can't go out because of the catheter that's in their chest or you know all those different reasons, and yeah, you're going to lose it a little bit. Otherwise, you're not human. You know?
Exactly.
And so I told her my story and I said, kids are more resilient than me. And I got this when I was like 29. I wasn't supposed to make it past Christmas that year. You
Right.
and it helped her because, she thought of that and it's like, well, if he can get through it, they can, you know.
Exactly. And it's all lifting everyone up around you, and just keeping things positive. And like I say, the never give up attitude, you just have to keep moving forward, no matter your situation, and know you're not alone.
Yeah. So I kept going back every year. They had that telethon. So even though I was better, much better than I was because I was down there trying to get some exercise and get away from my mother because, how mothers can be, they're treating you like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You can't be doing this, real coddling you, even though you're an adult, but see, you just almost died on it, you know. So I kept going back down there. So no matter what I was doing, I was always there at that mall for that DJ so that she had somebody to like focused on, so she didn't lose it on the air.
Right. I mean, and we just need to all be there for each other. Just that's how it works. It's not screaming, hollering, and stealing people's ideas. It's, hey, how can we make this idea better? Working with these people, moving things forward. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, we worked with other teams. We've gone out with Dale. Went out with.
And the little bit that each of us can do, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up when we getting more people to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you learn from everybody that
So
you
let me
go out
ask you
with.
this. Yeah, Ed, let me ask you this. Would you rather have $1 million handed to you right this minute, or would you rather have a penny doubled every single day for the rest of your life?
who, me?
Yeah.
A penny
That
day, you get a
think
lot.
about that.
I would take a penny doubled every day. However, I would take the second part of that double and I would give it to someone else that needs it.
That's kind of the point that I was going after.
Exactly.
You know, because one person, one rich person can give you $1 million, but millions of poor people can give you a penny, and that would turn into $1 million.
Right.
You know, and those pennies will build up.
Definitely.
So, that's
You never know. You might
that's
get that.
kind of where I'm going with that. That doing something like that, it makes more sense to gather it like that and donate it rather than try to get it all at once.
You never
So
know.
more
You might run
sense-
across that one penny that's worth $1 million.
You never know, but that's like more sense, no pun intended. Get it? Haha.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But no, it's just, there's so much negativity in the world today that I think if more people just, thought positive, then it would turn it around. It just would.
I think it possibly could. But
Excuse me, but I think that's where they should make pot legal and then turn around and make it mandatory for everybody to smoke a joint a day. Then I think more people would get along in this world.
Probably a whole lot of truth to that.
and then after that, it may wind up finally having world peace.
But no, I mean, you just gotta love what you're doing, and in this field, it's got to be a passion. It can't just be to do it to be famous or whatever. And even a lot of these people on the shows will tell you, I was at the right place at the right time. I'm no one special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just happened to be there. They chose me. That's that.
That was pretty much Ken's story. He was at the right place at the right time.
And they just don't let it get to their head, and they continue to do what they've always done.
This guy was pretty humble.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
famous.
We're blessed. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say with the holidays and everything, you guys gonna be going strong or taking a break or?
So I have a rule where
I don't like your rule,
and Chris hates my rule, but we've grown so fast that we've been doing sometimes 2 events a month, and we also have full-time jobs, and we have a daughter, and we have animals and a whole life. So my rule is between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day that we don't do any events.
No.
Now I
don't like it.
I broke that rule this year, and we did a December 3rd event at our haunted jail just last weekend, and it was extremely successful. But no, we don't do any events. We are like completely packed for the entire spring. We've got events all through the spring. We have events booked all the way through to November of next year.
Oh wow.
So we are at
You're my calendar. I have no clue.
We're at a point.
Whatever she says.
We're at a point that I have to be very strategic about the events that we put on, because we're running out of dates to do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, so I take this time. So we're having nice holiday time. Chris hates it. He hates it.
I don't like breaks.
But if you would look around our house, we have Christmas everywhere. I think he puts all of the paranormal.
Wait a minute. You got how many
Christmas
trees?
guys?
Okay,
No,
I just seen 2.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my God.
She
And
wants
then-
one in the bedroom too.
And,
But
and then we have our
and-
whole Christmas village. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I think that
Somebody's really
Chris
got
put
the
all of his
spirit.
paranormal energy into the. And
no, I didn't.
what do you
We
mean?
could go investigate tomorrow. She's the boss, guys.
That is
So
so
are
not
you
true.
guys Are you guys planning on going anywhere out of state, or is all your events in state?
All of our events are in state. For right now, we are working on getting back to Tennessee. We are working on out of state ones, but honestly, we're so busy with the in state.
Several reasons.
So yeah, it's all in Florida right now.
Okay.
So
I can always use you guys as an excuse to come see my niece and nephew.
you can.
We got all kinds of locations.
Yeah, we've got locations all the way up in Jasper and all the way down south is, like further south than
I want to go to
Sarasota.
Ma Barker house if I go to Florida.
The which house?
Ma Barker house.
I don't think we know that one. Do you know that one, honey?
No.
That's for a famous gun shootout. Ma Barker and her gang.
Oh no, we didn't.
Dillinger was involved. It was back during Prohibition.
Oh.
Huh.
The house was recently moved with the bullet holes
Are you
and
sure it's Florida?
an attack.
I've never heard.
I don't think that's Florida.
I've never heard of that house.
That is Florida.
But we have a place
Where
that has
Dr.
bullet holes
Christy
in the wall.
Sumner's from.
We have access to it. But anyway, there's just all kinds of stuff. But you guys are welcome anytime. Just let us know.
Oh, definitely. I think it'd be fun.
We have a list.
I'd have a blast.
Yeah, we have a list of locations. We have some more in the works. We just picked up an awesome haunted object. That came from one of the most haunted locations, top 10 haunted locations in the U.S. So.
Have you found any? Have you gotten any responses or anything like vibes or anything off of it?
Actually, when we were investigating the location, we actually physically seen it's a doll, and she physically changed her whole expression. And investigations prior to that, without us there, they're the ones that picked up on it and caught evidence of her physically moving and getting responses from it. However, she wasn't doing too well with all the male spirits, from what I understand, and she just needed a nice home. And we worked it out that now we have her, and we actually have her, and we have her with a haunted Care Bear that we have, and they're going to be all put together with the divot box that we have. So.
Cool.
We're going to have, and we sage it, every couple of months. I make sure it's saged and everything's good. It's a beautiful home for
Not with my luck. I wouldn't want anything like that.
her.
Hey, I've said this out loud before. I would be willing to give the Annabelle doll a hug because I really think she needs one.
Aww.
Oh. But yes, this doll, her name's Belle or Bella, and she came from the May Stringer house.
Interesting.
He goes to Far Our School and he provokes the spirits. And then he wonders why he can't get into his laptop after umpteen tries. But then when he gets home, first try, the laptop unlocks for him.
Well, because you done upset someone.
I did.
Oh, yeah, he
I
done
did.
did it that day.
We went to fire school after the Buddy Holly site, and I had 5 pieces of equipment subsequently fail on me.
Well, you need to learn to not provoke, and you need to learn to just try to soak in what they have to tell you and
Yeah,
yell at them.
but my provoking actually got them moving for everybody else.
Well, that's good. But
So I
then
took
what
one for the
happened the
team.
next day? You couldn't use your computer.
Well, I still think the most interesting part of that whole day, besides, well, I got sick right when I walked into that school. I started feeling sick. I had to go back outside for a bit. But when we were at the crash site, and we didn't find out this out until what, quite a bit later, we were asked
It was
to review our footage.
it was later, and I was listening to my audio that I caught.
Yeah, it was like a phantom plane sound, because I don't recall hearing that. Neither did Dale or anybody else that was with us recall hearing a plane or seeing one go overhead while we were out there in the
Yep.
cornfield.
There were 6 of us out there doing the investigation. I had 2 voice recorders going. The one my girlfriend was holding, I don't think she knew what she was doing with it because it didn't record very properly. The one I was holding, I got plenty of audio on it, and upon reviewing that audio, because it was a little while after we got back and everything, but upon reviewing that audio, I discovered something that sounded like a single engine prop plane flying over, but not one of us even remembers hearing it.
Or seeing one.
So,
Well,
and I don't remember hearing it on any other audio device that we had there either.
Well, that's
we
very
checked
interesting.
after that.
Yeah. I would look into the time frame, see, and just try
It was
we were
the time of day. The time of day was nowhere near the time frame that the plane actually crashed.
and we weren't there in February. It'd be too cold.
Right. I get
For
it.
for me, it'd be too cold.
Now he'd be a walking icicle at that point. So,
After what I went through with the leukemia and stuff, I missed 3 winters, so I pretty much lost my tolerance for winter. So I hibernate in winter.
Got
That's why we
it.
keep it. That's why
But
we
then you
keep
could
it
also
going.
try to find someone else that's been there at the same time, and just to see if it's like a residual sound. You never know.
Right.
That's true.
Something you can research and look into. But it was a very interesting place. Very, all those, they had this like memorial right at the entrance to the path that goes down to where they got the crash happened, bodies were found. And it's a big pair of Buddy Holly glasses, on pillars.
Right.
People autographed it and left sunglasses and prescription glasses and all kinds of glasses all over the thing. It was just
Left a bunch of
unbelievable.
offerings.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was a lot different than I was expecting. It really was,
Well, that's
and
cool.
then
You
I
got to
wasn't.
experience it. That would be awesome for us too.
Well, I'm a big
you're more than
music fan.
welcome to catch up with us if you want to come up, and we can take you out there.
I'm a big music fan, and being a big music fan, that just going out there just for that reason, because I'm a big music fan, was enough for me, even if we didn't get nothing. But we did.
Right.
We had a little bit of stuff happening, but it was unbelievable the stuff that people left at the memorial. They got these like metal engraved kind of tombstone looking things there, and people have left all kinds of like offerings there
Right.
or
Right.
whatever. and it's not just flowers. I mean, you're talking Bic lighters or, whatever, or there was a record, I think. There was even a 45 of like La Bamba sitting there, you know. It was pretty a lot different than what I was expecting, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, it's cool. I'm glad you got to experience that. That would be neat. Maybe someday. Hun?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other place I want to go to, the other place I'm planning to go to and hoping to this year is up Sup- up the Plainsfield, Ed, Ed Gein property.
The what? You cut out on me.
Ed
Ed
Gein's
Gein,
property.
Oh, okay.
that place is told to have a lot of activity, even though the house is gone. They burnt it down shortly. What was it? Shortly after he was convicted.
I figure one of the other locations would be Never Never Land.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Apparently someone purchased it now.
Really.
That's what I saw online. I was just looking at it to see because they were asking ungodly amounts for it, and then apparently someone bought it for like dirt cheap.
Well, the pictures I saw, it looked like it was pretty run down.
Oh,
They
yeah.
showed pictures of it, like somebody broke in and took pictures of it, and it was like graffiti everywhere, and
Yeah, I
you know,
don't remember. I don't remember what the years were, the photos that I were looking at and stuff. But someone
Even
they'd have
apparently
a lot of work ahead of them.
know what they're doing with it. Yeah,
I go to Tennessee. I've got Graceland on my list there.
yeah, for sure.
You know, I've never been there. I had a chance once, never had. Never got it. You know, but,
Well, there's still time. Set up a list, and you got it.
oh yeah,
Your bucket list.
I've got a big one that keeps growing now that I'm doing this paranormal stuff. It's unbelievable how fast that bucket list can grow.
Yep.
That's without leaving the States.
Heck, my bucket list grows every day when I find out about a new location I've never known. So,
Yeah. Every time I watch something or see a documentary on a new location, I'm like, I want to check that out. That ain't too far away. Or shit, we can go there in a weekend.
yeah, you
I
just set
still,
up the list and hope you can find time to do it all.
I still want to go over. I still want to go over to Michigan and catch up with the ladies over there.
Yeah, I want to go over to Michigan too.
Phenomena,
I want to visit a couple of their shops over there.
and they've got they're doing the Eloise Sanatorium.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. That would be cool.
Any jails or sanatoriums or hospitals, I'm game for. I love the.
Well, in Tennessee, there's the Scott County Jail in Tennessee. Got to go there too.
Yeah, I got to look that one up. I don't recall ever looking at that or looking it up. See.
That's another one of those places that got
Miranda
saved.
Young and Dr. Christy Sumner bought the Scott County Jail, and they've got it set up now as a investigation site for people to come in.
And a museum.
Yeah,
Huh.
and a
I
museum.
need to look into that one for sure.
It
Yep.
was almost ready to be torn down. And they saved
So that's
it.
another landmark that Dr. Sumner was involved in saving.
Cool. That's awesome.
So
The
Yeah,
more
she
we can
sure-
save, the better for the world, in my opinion.
I
Yep.
agree.
Yeah, they're all for
Well-
that kind of stuff.
And I know that we're running over, but I'm starting to feel the effects of the week.
Well, when we talk, we can do this for weeks. That's just how we seem to do it. You can make like
that's
19
fine.
episodes.
So after the new year, you guys got everything booked up until November, huh?
Well,
That's
Will you stop randomly shoving this camera in my
No.
face? He gives me no warning. He just like shoves it in my face. It's ridiculous. No, we have a sold out event at the SS Victory ship. It's a warship here in Tampa. And it, was actually a naval ship. That one is in the beginning of January. That's completely sold out. Our January 29th Hacienda event is completely sold out. I am just getting ready to post for a February Hacienda event. And I have a feeling those tickets will go extremely fast. We also have a February May Stringer event coming up when those tickets will go very fast. So, but I have to stagger them because what I we do so many over the year that I don't like to put all of them for sale throughout the year at once because people's lives change and everything. So, but we do have events that I have already set up and lined up all the way up to the end of November when we go on our break.
What break? We do not have breaks. This is the paranormal does not break for no one.
No, but here's another thing, and this is the truth, okay? Because of my fiance's schedule, his schedule changes every week, and it's not like he doesn't work Monday through Friday and has the weekends off, right? So the problem is he'll take time off or rearrange his schedule so he can do these paranormal events. And what ends up happening is I have to go, hey, we need to take vacations as a couple. Hey, we need to take time off as a couple, right? But I lose.
No, I try to say, let's go to this haunted location. You go, no, not with the paranormal, just us.
Yeah, exactly. No. And also,
I say, no.
Also,
I'm
a big Disney person, and so we're going away to Disney World at the end of this month. So I have to squeeze those in. I have to, otherwise we don't get any
haunted in Disney. I know it. I'm gonna find it.
We don't get any vacations. We just do paranormal stuff. So
I like
it's
the
not a bad thing.
I bet there is something haunted at Disney because look at the land it's on.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I bet you there is. Well, he'll probably bring some equipment or something. I don't know.
I will? Okay, good idea.
Put a voice recorder in your pocket and carry the video camera around.
I have my phone. That's all you need.
And act like you're videotaping your vacation there.
Yeah, I'll be like, Mickey Mouse, are you here?
No, Walt Disney. Mickey Mouse is still alive.
Well, okay.
Walt Disney.
Hey, Walt, where are you? When did you put this brick in the ground?
Epcot Center.
But yeah, we have a lot coming up in the spring.
I agree. It's nice to get away every once in a while and do nothing.
We have to. No. We have to. But
no.
But it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. And I
appreciate.
Yes, definitely. Sorry I was late again.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's no biggie, man. We all have to work.
Yeah, it's been a crazy. It's just.
I don't work.
It's a busy time.
Yeah. But the holidays around the corner. You guys enjoy the holidays for sure.
You as well. Have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And also, I guess I should say that our events are on our Facebook page. So the flghosts.com is more informational if you want to learn about us and see what we do. But if you want to see our events or you want to be in the know of our upcoming events, the only way to do that is to be on our Facebook page. We just hit 4,700 followers. So
awesome.
we're pretty proud of that. We're gonna do something special for the 5,000.
I don't know what yet.
but yeah, so the events are only on the Facebook page. So please follow us if you're interested.
And everything we do is on there, so you pretty much are in our back pockets knowing what we're doing. So
yeah.
Cool.
And again, I want to thank you guys too.
Thank you for having us on, and
Thanks
and for
coming on.
remembering us. And yeah, we're just
Yeah,
we're
it's no
looking
problem.
forward.
I can't forget you guys.
Yeah, we're
There's,
looking forward to a great
because
2022.
Definitely. We're gonna
What?
be busy.
because of what you guys do, I don't forget that, because I walked, I did a lot of that. I walked in some of those kids' shoes. I went through some of that shit, you
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
know what it's like. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy, and to be a survivor is even slimmer chances. But nowadays, the numbers have gone up.
Well, that's because the research,
Exactly.
the
The
research is
research
getting better.
has gotten the treatments to be better.
I mean, I know people that have gotten the same type of leukemia that I had, you know, now, and I got it in 94, 95, and here they are getting it in like 2020 or 2019 or whatever, and they're getting less effects because they're taking the chemo by it's either targeted or uh, pill form now instead of
Right.
through all IV drugs.
Right, and the
Uh,
chemo's not as hard on the body,
right.
and
Yeah,
there's
there's
just so much
a lot
that
less
research.
side effects from it. When there was a drug they gave me through the IV 2 to 3 times a day that I don't remember the name of it. It was a golden color IV drug, and I called it the killer drug because they'd have to come in and shoot me with Demerol and Vistaril before, halfway through, and just before it was done. Otherwise, I ended up in these really bad tremors.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the research itself has made it much easier. Now it's like, oh, just pop this pill.
Well,
Yeah.
not quite that easy.
I know, but I'm just saying it's much easier than what it used to be.
And some of them don't have to go through the total body eradication anymore
Right.
either. Where they sit you in a room in your underwear and they flood it, flood it
Right.
full of radiation, and then they do this to you, so many times a week to the point where
Yeah.
you're peeling skin off your body like a glove or like a
Yeah.
snake.
Now it's cool with the new technology. It's it's like directional to the exact area.
Yeah, they can target it
Yep.
more.
Yeah. Which
Targeted
is awesome.
proton therapy.
Yep. But yes, definitely, guys. Thank you again. And any way we can help or anything we can post to help you guys, whatever you're doing, let us know.
All right. Well, thanks
So,
for coming on. Glad we got to talk to you guys again. And keep
you
up the good
too.
work.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna
And,
try.
and actually, if there is anything you guys need us to help you with, let us know. If we can help you,
For
we will.
sure. For sure, we will. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
you guys
we'll talk
have
to you.
a happy holidays as well, please.
Yes, you too. Have a happy and safe New Year.
Be
Yeah,
safe.
very
Yes.
safe New Year.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
All right. Bye.